Hello, welcome to the 190 Q&A practice. I'm going to start out with a one-page practice session. This is going to start out with defense attorney, and then I'm going to reread it again at 190. Okay, ready? What did you find? In the garage, I found some cases of liquor and a hand truck that I remembered as having been taken on June the 25th. These cases of liquor that you found, were they opened or unopened or both? Both. All right, and that particular hand truck you found in the garage, what color was that? As I recall it, it was a red one. It came off of shall I tell the incident where it came off? Well, no, right now just tell us the color. I believe it was red, as I recall it. And can you recall if it had like a number or a serial number or a model number on it? It actually had two numbers on it. One was welded on and one was just written on with chalk or something like that. Could you state now what those numbers were? No, I can't. Did you put it in your report? Yes, it would be in the report, I'm sure. Did you search the area for any particular automobile in the vicinity? Yes, I did. Can you describe the particular automobile? I had a description of 2 or 3 that I was looking for. You had been given descriptions of 2 or 3 automobiles? Yes, sir, that is correct. Okay, so now I'm going to reread that again. Ready? What did you find? In the garage, I found some cases of liquor and a hand truck that I remembered as having been taken on June the 25th. These cases of liquor that you found, were they open or unopened or both? Both. All right, and the particular hand truck you found in the garage, what color was that? As I recall it, it was a red one. It came off of shall I tell the incident where it came off? Well, no, right now just tell us the color. I believe it was red, as I recall it. And can you recall if it had like a number or a serial number or a model number on it? It actually had 2 numbers on it. One was welded on and one was just written on with chalk or something like that. Could you state now what those numbers were? No, I can't. Did you put it in your report? Yes, it would be in the report, I'm sure. Did you search the area for any particular automobile in the vicinity? Yes, I did. Can you describe the particular automobile? I had a description of 2 or 3 that I was looking for. You had been given descriptions of 2 or 3 automobiles? Yes, sir, that is correct. Okay, so I will switch transcripts. The subject here is labor union. And I will read this at 190. Ready? You said 7 meetings. Now, do you have one every month? 2 each month. 2 a month. When on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. And might there have been some special meetings in addition to the regular meetings held during that period of time? I believe there was one special meeting during that time. Did you attend and preside at all of them? Yes. You say you did not keep minutes of whatever business took place? No, sir. Did you preside and keep order and put motions to a vote? Right. Did you conduct these meetings according to whatever rules your union may have? Right, I did. Now, is it a fact that your meetings of Local 2424 are not limited to employees of the 10 employers who are involved in these unemployment compensation proceedings? That is true. Do they include, in addition to employees of those 10 employers, employees of Brass Casting Company Incorporated? Yes, sir. What about the ironworks people? Yes. And maybe other plants located in the area? That is right. Are questions presented to the entire membership at the meetings in connection with pending collective bargaining negotiations? They are. Is there any segregation made as between the members who are employed at any particular plant? Yes, in some cases. Do you mean with reference to special issues? Right. Is that because of different terms that are in use at certain plants? That's right. There are various expressions used at different places. Yes, but on important questions like wage increases or any changes in working conditions, they all vote regardless of any members of any one plant where terms may be different. Doesn't it apply to all? Certainly, all alike. Is this true at all meetings, regular meetings, and even special meetings? Well, I refer to all meetings we have discussed. That special meeting was something different. That had nothing to do with the subject matter. It didn't involve the entire membership. You testified on your first examination that you did not go down to the plant Monday. No, I didn't. Didn't you go to work at all that day or even show up? I wasn't there when they opened. Did you go there at a later time of that day? I got there during the afternoon, yes, sir. As an official of your union, did you have anything to do about arranging for signs to be placed anywhere? No, nothing further. Counsel, you state that you had nothing to do with that. Was that handled by a committee? Right. Was that committee the one we have referred to in this proceeding as a strike committee? Right. Tell us, would that be a 10-man committee? That is right, it would. Did you work with the committee as an officer? I did not. What about the paid officials of the union? No. Perhaps I should express it in another manner. Perhaps you didn't actually work with them, but did you consult with them or did they consult with you? Advice and general information. Were there more than 10 representatives of various plants on the committee? There wasn't. There were generally 10? Right. There was one representative from each of the 10 plants, not 2 from some plants and other plants not being represented. 1 man from each plant. How were these men selected? Were they selected by employees at the individual plants? That is right. Was this done pursuant to the rules and regulations or the bylaws of the local union? That is right. Also the Constitution. Was there a meeting of the local union when the membership voted strike authority to the strike committee? There was. Did this turn over to them the authority to designate which plants would be put on strike if a settlement was not reached? That was entirely an individual matter. The employees of each plant involved had to agree before the committee could take definite action as to any given plant. Was that in the form of a resolution that was adopted at one of the meetings? Yes. Did the local union put that in the record of the minutes of the meeting? Yes. When you went to the plant that afternoon, did you see some signs being carried by any of the employees? Yes. Were any of these exhibited near the plant, say near the entrance or the exit? Yes. How many of these signs did you see? There were 2 of them. Did you notice whether any of these signs were of a convertible type? Did they have the lockout language on the original sign, or was it just put on an ordinary strike banner or poster, whatever it was? It was the made over type. What do you call it? Convertible. Could they have been made just a strike notice out of them by taking off the lockout sign? That is right, they could. During the next 2 days, were you busy with your usual union affairs that came up in connection with the labor situation? Yes. Did a group of you men as a body file a claim with the Unemployment Compensation Office? That is not true. I went alone. I think they all went alone. I am sure of it. Was it a general understanding between the men that if you all didn't get work in the very near future, you would all file? Well, I don't know if there was any such understanding or not. I couldn't say. Did you stay active in connection with the labor dispute after you had registered for work and filed your claim for readjustment allowances? Only as a member of the negotiating committee. Well, didn't you stay active in your capacity as president of the union as well as a member of the committee? Yes. During that period, did you attend some meetings held with the state labor conciliator? Yes, I did. Okay, we'll switch transcripts for just about a minute longer. Here we go. Would it be customary at the Orange County Medical Center to always have a medical person in attendance with someone suffering from shock and who had been shot? Yes, they keep them under pretty close observation, I believe. Doctor, I hate to be redundant, and I hope I am not, but back to these alleged statements made by Mr. Johnson over at this Orange County Medical Center. Do you recall reading these police reports where these statements were contained? Yes. Did you place any significance in those statements, or do you now place a significance in those statements that your opinion what your opinion is as to Mr. Johnson's state of mind, to wit, whether or not he could distinguish between right and wrong and knew the nature and quality of his acts on this night. Do these statements change your opinion in any way whatsoever? No, I don't believe so. Doctor, I wonder, did you form any opinion as to when Mr. Johnson first went into this acute alcoholic hallucinosis state and when he came out of it? No, I wasn't really able to get the time differential there. He probably went into it when he was still drinking in the bar, when he first saw this image up over the bar, and he can describe this very vividly, and he was still in it while he went home. That's one of the things that is very different in this type of a psychotic episode than others. There is still some ability to comprehend what is happening and react. For instance, he was able to run home and find his house. In other words, they aren't completely out of contact with their surroundings. He was still responding to the hallucination, and he probably remained in that state with possibly some variation in the degree of it. There are sometimes brief, lucid intervals. He recalls the ride to the hospital, and he was probably more in contact then, and he probably lost contact again after being there. That's characteristic of this. Often it comes and goes until they finally sleep, and then they wake up the next day usually fairly clear. But this type of episode is usually terminated by sleep. Okay, that concludes our 190 Q&A practice. Have a great day.